Hello, welcome. This is Lily. I'm so glad you're here. If you're listening from a kitchen table, a subway seat, or late at night with a cup of tea, thank you. Today, we're exploring something gentle but powerful, the power of calm. We'll take it slow, and I mean that, literally and lovingly. This episode is for every adult learner who feels pressure to speak perfectly or who freezes when nerves arrive. You are not alone.
Hi everyone, I'm Sato. It's a joy to be here with you and with Lily. As a psycholinguist, I spend a lot of time thinking about what happens inside the mind when we try to speak a second language. And one of the clearest findings is slowing down helps. Not flashy, not dramatic, but effective. Today, we'll unpack why, how, and what you can practice immediately.
By the way, before we begin, take a breath with me if you'd like. No pressure. Inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold a beat. Exhale slowly. There. Tiny reset. You can keep listening in that calmer space.
That's a great start, Lily. And I want to say, up front, calm isn't about hiding your personality. It's not about flatness. It's a choice to create space. Space to think, to choose words, to breathe. For language learners, that's gold.
Yes. And I want to make a little promise. We will treat your pace as valid. Your learning doesn't need to match anyone else's timeline. If learning English feels like pushing a boulder, we'll try turning it into a slow, steady walk up a hill, where each step matters.
Let's acknowledge something important. Many of you have listened to lessons, memorized vocabulary, practiced pronunciations, and still, when a real conversation happens, anxiety shows up. That's normal. The mind is wired to notice risk, and speaking a new language feels risky. But hear this. Consistent, low-pressure listening and small, gentle practice sessions accumulate.
Absolutely. I remember years ago teaching a small evening class. One student, Maria, came to every class quietly. She didn't speak much in the beginning. People assumed she wasn't improving fast, but she listened. She wrote little notes. Over months, she began to speak with measured, confident sentences. Not fast, but clear. Her calm approach allowed her brain to build patterns. She was like a sunrise, gradual, beautiful, reliable.
The sunrise of learning, segment 2. I love the sunrise metaphor. Language acquisition often happens incrementally, the way dawn creeps into night. Cognitive processes, like vocabulary consolidation, pronunciation adjustments, intonation patterns, need time. Neurolinguistic research shows that repeated exposure in low-stress contexts strengthens neural pathways. In plain words, small daily doses of calm practice beat frantic cramming.
That's so reassuring. And listen, there's a social myth we should address right now. Loud or fast speech is not always confident. People confuse speed and volume with competence. But calm, deliberate speech is often more persuasive and more memorable. It's like being a lighthouse, not a siren.
Why calm is misunderstood. Modern culture often valorizes loudness, quick responses, immediate reaction, constant activity. That makes calm look passive. But calm is active regulation. It requires awareness. It requires a small, intentional step between feeling and responding. For learners, that active regulation protects working memory. You hold ideas long enough to choose words.
When I coached students, I noticed the ones who practiced pausing, just a 2-second silence before answering, were clearer. Not perfect, but clearer. They chose better words. They sounded thoughtful, and listeners responded kindly. People often interpret pauses as thoughtfulness, not weakness.
Let's use another image. Segment 4, the deep river analogy. Imagine two rivers. One is shallow, loud water bouncing wildly over rocks, creating noise, but little current. The other is deep and slow, a steady current moving great distance. Depth creates power. Calm is the deep river, quiet on the surface, strong underneath. For language skills, depth means your understanding and control continue even if the surface feels still.
I love that. And it reminds me that calm is not absence of energy, it's focused energy. Like a deep river carrying a heavy ship, a calm speaker can carry meaning further. You see more, hear more, and respond with more precision.
Segment 5, calm as inner strength. There's a difference between being passive and being composed. Staying calm is an active strategy to maintain self-control, to avoid sudden reactions, to manage emotional spikes. Research in emotion regulation suggests that people who practice down-regulating immediate anxiety through breath, mental reframing, or brief pauses perform better in conversation tasks and remember more vocabulary.
Sato, can I ask you something? How can listeners begin to reframe their own nervousness into calm strength? Many feel shamed when they slow down.
Great question, Lily. Start by changing the story you tell yourself. Instead of thinking, I must speak quickly or they'll think I'm not good, try, I can take a moment to think. That helps me be understood. Small language shifts like that alter stress responses. Also, practice power phrases. Let me think for a moment. Or, that's a good question. I'll take a second. They give permission to pause, and people usually wait.
Power phrases, yes. I encourage learners to create a short list of those in their own voice. One person used, "Give me a sec, I'm translating my thoughts." Another used, "I want to answer carefully." Simple, effective.
Practically speaking, slowing your speech lets your brain search for words, organize sentence structure, and modulate pronunciation. When you slow down, your working memory can hold chunks of language more effectively. Also, listeners, native and non-native alike, often report better comprehension when the speaker uses moderate pace and clear articulation.
I want to give listeners a small breathing and pacing exercise now. If you're comfortable, try this with us. Inhale gently, 2 counts. Exhale for 4 counts. Now, speak a simple sentence slowly. I am learning English. Try 2 different paces, one hurried, one slow. Notice how much easier it feels to choose words at the slower pace. You don't need to say it out loud if you're in public, just mentally notice.
Let's talk about another tool, chunking. Break sentences into smaller units. Instead of thinking of a whole long sentence, think in 3-part chunks: subject, verb, detail. That reduces cognitive load. For example, instead of preparing to say, I think the meeting scheduled for next Wednesday might cause a conflict with my other appointments, you can chunk, I think the meeting next Wednesday may conflict with another appointment. Each pause buys time and clarity.
Chunking is a lifesaver, and it sounds natural to listeners because native speakers pause too. We pause to breathe, to emphasize, to find a word. Slowing down and chunking can even make your English sound more intentional and native-like.
Segment 7. The power of the gap. This is key. A gap, the short space between stimulus and response, gives your brain time to process. Emotionally, the gap reduces reactivity. Cognitively, it gives you space to retrieve vocabulary and structure sentences. Practically, that gap could be a 3-second pause, a breathing rhythm, or a filler that buys time without damaging credibility.
I want to role play briefly. I'll pretend to ask a question. Lily, why didn't you finish the project? Now watch how a calm gap works. Instead of rushing to defend, I take a breath. That's a fair question. I needed more time to ensure accuracy, and I wanted to be thorough. See? The gap lets you answer from choice, not panic.
Exactly. And if you're in a conversation where someone interrupts, practice a gentle anchor phrase. One moment, or let me finish this thought. This is not rude, it's about maintaining your composure so your message is clear.
I see.
I see.
And another short one. Right. And another short one. Segment 8. Calm versus suppression. This needs clarity. Calm is not the same as suppression. You can feel the heat of embarrassment, sadness, or anger and still be calm. Suppression is stuffing emotions so they bubble later. Calm is noticing, I feel anxious, and letting the feeling exist without letting it drive you. Naming emotions reduces their intensity. Try saying to yourself, I notice anxiety in my chest. It's okay. That's a calm acknowledgement, not suppression.
I'd add, labeling emotions engages the prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain that helps regulate reactions. That means naming your feeling literally helps you gain control. Scientists call it affect labeling, simple, evidence-based, and useful for speakers under stress.
Here's a tiny exercise you can do before any English conversation. Scan your body for tension. Where do you feel tightness? Shoulders, jaw, hands? Take a slow breath and soften that spot. Say silently, I notice tension in my shoulders. I can release it. Practice this for a week and notice the difference.
Segment 9. Developing calm. Practical steps. Let's make a short list you can use right away. 1. Pause before replying. 2 to 3 seconds is okay. 2. Use power phrases to buy thinking time. 3. Chunk sentences into manageable pieces. 4. Practice slow reading aloud to improve rhythm and confidence. 5. Daily micro-practices. 5 minutes of listening to a podcast at slightly reduced speed or shadowing a speaker, matching their calm pace.
And I'll add, 6. Journal one short sentence each day about what went well. Our brains focus on threats. We need to train them to notice wins. Even small wins. I asked for directions. Build confidence and calm over time.
Let me share a case. I worked with a man named Ahmed. He learned English for work presentations. He used to rush, stumble, and apologize. We practiced 3 things: breathing at the start, a set of opening phrases, and deliberately slowing by 20%. He told me after 3 weeks that his audience asked more questions, seemed more engaged, and he felt less exhausted after speaking. He had turned nervous adrenaline into focused energy.
I love that. And it's important to note, building calm is practice. You don't just wake up calm tomorrow. It's like training a muscle. That means patience with yourself.
Patience.
Let's do a guided mini practice now. Segment 9 continued. If you can, sit comfortably. Place your feet on the floor. Rest your hands. Close your eyes if that feels safe. Inhale quietly for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Exhale gently for 6. As you breathe, repeat slowly in your mind, I have time. Inhale, I have. Exhale, time. Repeat 3 times. Open your eyes when you're ready. Even a minute like that can reset the nervous system before a conversation.
Very practical. Also, build small rituals before speaking. Adjust your posture, take a sip of water, or glance at a note. Rituals cue the brain that you're entering a focused state. They stabilize attention.
Segment 10, Final Encouragement. We want to leave listeners with a gentle but firm message. Your calm is your power. Your pacing is not a flaw, it's a strategy. Learning a language is about communication, not perfection. You are allowed to be thoughtful. You are allowed to speak slowly. You are allowed to pause.
I want to offer one last mental model. Imagine your conversations like walking across a bridge. If you rush, you might stumble. If you walk with calm, you appreciate the view and arrive steady. Your calm lets you see choices, different words, different tones, and choose the best one.
Before we close, a few quick, practical takeaways to tuck in your pocket. 1. Practice a 2-second pause before answering. 2. Use a power phrase when you need thinking time. 3. Chunk your sentences. 4. Do a 1-minute breathing reset before conversations. 5. Celebrate small wins.
And remember this, others often interpret calm as confidence. When you slow down, you can sound more credible. That's not magic, it's cognitive clarity. Your brain has more bandwidth when it's not racing.
You are enough.
Yes. Well, and also wise.
One practical challenge for the week, if you want to try, pick 3 situations where you usually rush, maybe ordering food, answering a colleague, or answering a question in class. In each situation, intentionally add 1 pause. Notice the reaction. Write 1 sentence about it that evening. That's it. Small, doable.
And if you want to practice out loud, you can record yourself saying the same short paragraph at 2 paces, fast and slow. Listen back. Often listeners prefer the slower version, and you may notice what words you can breathe through more easily.
Before we sign off, I'd like to share a quote that gently fits our topic. Silence is not empty. It's full of answers. It reminds us that the quiet spaces between words carry meaning. Your calm helps you find those answers.
I'll add a brief scientific note. When you create breathing space, your parasympathetic nervous system can activate. This is the part of the nervous system that helps us rest and digest. In short, calmer breathing helps you think clearer. It's a physiological fact, not just feeling.
Okay, parting words. Be kind to your learning self. Take small steps. Praise the tiny victories. If today you paused once, that's progress. If today you spoke more slowly once, that's progress. This path is yours, and calm can be your compass.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Practice a little, and please be gentle with yourself. If you'd like, next episode we can do a guided practice focused on job interviews or on small talk. Let us know which you'd prefer. We will keep the pace slow and supportive.
Yes, please tell us. Send a voice note or a comment, whatever feels easiest. And one last breath together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slowly. Thank you. Take care and speak with calm.
Goodbye for now. Keep practicing those small pauses. They add up.